Hello. This is an app for the iPad called Explain Everything, and what I thought I would do is use Explain Everything to explain everything. So again, it's an app for the iPad. It's a screencasting app. What that means is that it will record what happens on screen as well as the audio that happens at the same time. So just for an example, this is I'm recording right now, and I can also draw on the screen as I record and capture both of those things. So both the audio that's happening and the actual on-screen drawing, I can capture on the screen at the same time. And then it's also relatively easy to undo, which I will do now to get rid of that little drawing there. And this app is really versatile. It's something that you can use in a lot of different ways, pretty much any subject area, individually or in small groups, anything where you want to capture student thinking for others to share or just for you to be able to review later. So this is what the home screen looks like. I'm just going to walk through the different tools that you have available, and I can't show all of them because right now this is a picture of the screen. It's not the active screen right now, so I'll show you what I can. So there's up at the top here, these are all of our different drawing tools. So we have all of these tools here that will let you do a lot of different things. So by default, it starts on this little pencil, the drawing line tool. So that lets you draw anywhere on the screen that you'd like to draw. It's pretty straightforward. Up here is our shape tool. So if you tap on that icon, different options will pop up for drawing circles, squares, arrows, straight lines, all kinds of different things. You can have some options that go along with it as well. So this is our drawing tool. So you can see I can draw an arrow pointing anywhere on the screen, and that's pretty easy to do. There's also this text tool for inserting text boxes. That's also pretty easy. You tap on where on the screen you want to write, the keyboard pops up, you type what you want to type, and then hit the green check mark, and now you have text. Now, one important thing to just talk about real quickly is every time you do something, like you draw something on the screen or you draw a line or anything like that, right after you've drawn it, it will shift over to this tool up here, the little hand tool. And that hand tool lets you move things around. So I can write anywhere on the screen and then move that text around. You can also use your regular gestures like expand or pinch to shrink it. You can tilt or move your fingers around to make it rotate on the screen. So there's all kinds of possibilities there. And again, it's capturing all of that live as it's being done. Then here, this little plus is kind of a multi-tool that lets you insert images, so you can take pictures from the camera within the app or pictures that you already have on the iPad. You can even embed an entire browser window, so you can pull up a web page, a live web page, click on different links on the web page, and demonstrate navigating through the page, as well as at any point stopping and marking up that web page with explanations, circling things, highlighting things, all that stuff. So you can insert a full web browser, you can take new pictures, new videos, or any other files. You can put in PDFs, all that stuff. So that plus tool has a lot of different features in there. So you tap on that and then it gives you other choices. You also have the eraser. So when you're on this little drawing tool, this looks like an eraser. When you have the hand tool, it changes and looks like an X, and that's like your delete tool. So if I tapped on that eraser right now, it would erase any drawings that I've been doing. If it's an X and I just tap on where I did the drawing, it will find the entire drawing and I can just delete the whole thing all at once. So that's if you're on the pointer tool, then it changes to an X. You tap on what you want to delete, and then there's a little X in the corner that will appear. This tool here is what I've been using. This is like a laser pointer. So you can have a lot of different options for what it looks like. You can have a small laser pointer. So I just switched to the small one. You can go to like an arrow. So you can use an arrow laser pointer. That's just a really helpful tool to draw people's attention to different parts of the screen without leaving permanent marks behind. The little info thing is kind of not super important. It's more of like if you want to fine tune things, you can tap on something and then copy it, duplicate it, flip it around, all that stuff, or you can arrange it differently on the screen. So that's your little eye tool. Here's your undo, and if you tap on it, it will also let you redo if you accidentally undo something. This is kind of an interesting idea, this magnifying glass. It's what you'd think it is. It lets you zoom in and out on your overall screen, but it keeps everything in perspective. So like if I have a picture and I have a text box and I have a drawing, if I use this magnifying glass, when I pinch, it zooms out of everything. And it also reveals that, kind of like on a Prezi, if you've ever seen Prezis before, where they kind of like zoom out and zoom into other parts, that could be kind of an interesting effect. You could zoom out, zoom in somewhere else on the screen and keep working. There's also, I'll show you in just a second, there's a whole slideshow aspect to this as well, where you can create different slides and do it a different way as well. The button right here just disappears or takes away some of these different tools, so it cleans up your view. And then here are the colors you can pick from. So those are the different tools that you can use. There's a whole lot more though. We've barely scratched the surface. Down here you can control the different slides. So if you tap this little plus icon, that will create new slides on your slideshow. So you can have, for instance, if it's a math problem, you can have slide 1 just shows the problem, slide 2 shows step 1 on solving it, slide 3 shows step 2 on solving it, all that sort of thing. It could also be if there's an example of a teacher using this with literacy. So you could have slide 1 as the cover of the book, an explanation of what you predict you'll learn as you read the book. Slide 2 could be a page where the student narrates sort of something that they learned on that page or how they use text features or something. So you can separate out your projects that way as well. So the slides are really handy, and you can jump back and forth between slides using these different keys. Now here is all of your recording stuff. So this is where Explain Everything really shines. You can record and pause at any point and continue where you left off. It doesn't change or transfer the file format or anything. It keeps it as an editable video. So if your students are working and they run out of time, they just pause, hit this home icon to go back to the home screen. It will ask them to save. They save it, and then when they come back the next day, they pick right back up where they left off, and we'll go over how you can save it to Google Drive so that it can work on any device, which is another really handy feature. Down here, this tells you how much time your recording is lasting so far. If you tap on that section also, it will bring up a whole timeline editor, which is really cool. You can delete parts of your audio. You can add extra drawings that are kind of merged into the project. You can get rid of drawings. You can move things around. You can edit your entire video, almost like iMovie, where that's a really powerful feature for students to be able to edit their project and really get in there and make it perfect. These are options just for exporting and importing. So when you can export this as just an image, you can export this as a whole video, which is probably what students will be doing once they're all done with it. This is sort of like upload or import or export, and then this takes you back to the home screen. So those are the basic buttons for Explain Everything. We'll jump in and I'll do a couple more sessions just going over like the timeline, track editor, stuff like that. But it's all relatively easy. The good thing about it is you can start off very easily, but it's really deep. So there's a lot of extra learning you can do if you have more time. But it's not too complicated to just get up and running very quickly. So that's Explain Everything. Hope you find this useful. It's a really powerful app. There are some links to iTunes books or iBooks and iTunes U courses that will help to, teach you a little bit more about the app and how you might use it in a classroom.